Alright, so I've already unboxed all this stuff once, but I ended up ordering the single tip kit, and I have 2 tips, so I had to order another tip. But yeah, it looks like a bunch of wiring stuff. Basically, you put a spark plug into your exhaust. There is like a button you can press. Basically, it'll light up the unused fuel that's in your exhaust. Hopefully it turns out good. So this is the original kit. This is whatever I was missing. Let's dig into it. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the top side as long as I have room. So I got the spark plug here, and I'm just gonna make sure I have enough room to do that. So that way it's hidden and not gonna scrape on the ground if I run into something. So sit like this. Just like barely enough room. I may be able to lower the exhaust a little bit, but looks like that'll work. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and take this thick wire here. This is the 4-foot wire, and we're just gonna go ahead and strip it. Just gonna go ahead and twist this up. Throw it in this ring terminal. And we can go ahead and just crimp this bad boy. There we go. Now we're going to throw this onto the spark plugs. Now we're actually going to go ahead and repeat that same thing. You may want to trim this if you want it to be all neat and tidy, but I'm just going to send it and then I can bunch it up if I need to. But we're going to do the same thing but with a female spade connector on the other side. and twist it up. Take our female spade connector. Toss this in there. Seems kind of tight, but I guess they're all the same size. Go ahead and crimp it down. Give her a good yank, make sure it's not gonna fall off or anything. And if you're doing this for the twins, you're gonna want to repeat this for the other side. Alrighty, so now we want to find a 12 volt ignition switched wire to send to the back to the flame control module / coil pack things. Luckily, I've already got my entire interior removed. I don't know how I passed tech with this stuff, but don't mention that to the people at the racetracks. But basically, we just got a little tester thing. Gonna switch it to 9 volts. We're gonna look for a 12 volt source. We're just gonna keep this grounded the whole time. Then once we find one, we are gonna, so I actually have the key turned on to the third position right now, because that's the source we want. We don't want it to be on always because it's going to drain the battery if you do that. So once we find one, we're going to switch the ignition off, and if it stays, that's a no-go because that means it's always on. If it is switched and it turns off when we turn the key off, that's a good source. And then we'll run it to the back. Alrighty. So I've got this wire ran back to the trunk. And then I'm gonna make it a little bit longer than I need to. Then if it's too long, I can just go ahead and bunch it up. Don't want it to be too short because then you're gonna have problems. So I'm gonna cut it like right here. Snip that. And we're gonna go ahead and remove the insulation on the end. Twist it up. And then go ahead and connect this into this butt clamp. Butt connector, which is going into the one where we twisted the two red wires together, and this is going to be our 12-volt power. And then just go ahead, crimp this bad boy down, and give it a good yank. If it doesn't fall out, you're all good.